So for the placement stage, this really starts with the presentation to operations. So once you've completed all aspects of credentialing, right? So we have your updated resume, we understand the skills that you bring to the table, we have an understanding of the experience you've gained in clinicals or potentially even other aspects of work and employment that relate to your position, your clinical position as a registered nurse. And then also your references. Of course, we compile that into a profile. That profile is what we'll use to present you to facilities that we'll discover later on together. So we have a scheduled placement call with an engagement team member. So that's either myself or one of my managers that are strategically placed across the U.S. to provide hands-on engagement to all of our healthcare professionals once they're on assignment. So the idea is that whoever you're with in this engagement call could be your manager for the whole term of your contract. So you begin building that relationship early on. In that call, they will discuss your geographical preferences. So where you may have family or friends residing, maybe a state that you visited while you were in school that you really loved, or maybe it is where you currently live, where you've grown to love, and we'll see if we can find a facility close to that. Also, for many of the new graduate candidates, the residency programs available within some of our hospitals is very desirable. So we'll talk about that. Different acuity levels, census, opportunities for growth within the facility in terms of, maybe you're starting in med-surg, but they're open to reassessing, sending you maybe to a step down or another specialty unit within a year's time. So kind of talking through that, what are your top priorities and goals for the time period in which you're on Connexus contract, and then of course beyond that. So we document all of that in the first step of your personal development plan. So this is a series of touch points that we do throughout your contract to really understand, are we getting you closer to your long-term career goals? Are we positioning you for growth and the experience you're wishing to obtain? And also, are we connecting the dots for your manager within the facility? So again, it's important to remember that, while you're on contract with Connexus, we are your employer. And so we are here to advocate for you and help you build relationships and, find that growth and continued education within the facility that we partner with. So after that call happens, such an important call, life-changing call. And so we put a lot of emphasis on that. We, again, document everything. Sometimes it's 2 calls, sometimes it's 3 calls, right? So really, again, we're not trying to prolong anything. We can make it very quick too. But the point is just to really understand what are your true desires. So more often than not, at the end of that first call, we're able to identify 3 matches, and then we'll send you those 3 matches, and it'll have the full name of the facility, the city and state in which it is, and then maybe there are multiple locations. We'll identify that, and then you're left with the opportunity to research those matches. So going online and kind of looking at that community yourself, seeing what's available to you, and again, taking all of your priorities into consideration. There sometimes is room for additional, again, that may require another call if at the end of that research you feel like there may be other facilities you want to talk about. So this is kind of an ongoing, really important aspect of finding the perfect placement match for each person and really customizing it. So as far as our top states that are accepting new graduates with under a year of experience are going to be New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, Texas, Nebraska, and Iowa. So while we do have facilities maybe in other states, and we're constantly gaining more clients, so this is ever changing, these are our hot states is what we would say now. So we want to be transparent with that. So after we've identified, okay, this is for sure my top choice, this is where I want my resume to be submitted, you'll give us the green light, that permission to submit your profile and your resume to that facility. And then they have 48 hours to schedule an interview with you. We will be a part of that interview. We also have a step of preparing you for the interview. So if you choose, right? So if you feel like I don't need that additional support, that's okay. But more often than not, we at least have a conversation to help prepare you for what that facility is, what it's going to be like. Is it going to be on video? Is it going to be on phone? What kind of questions are typical for them? How many people are going to be a part of the interview? So on and so forth. After the interview is completed, we give the facility 48 hours to decide. A lot of times they'll tell us at the end of the interview. Sometimes they'll tell us a couple hours later, but 48 hours is the expectation. So then you'll get your official offer letter from Connexus, and then you'll have time to, of course, review that and sign. It will be an electronic offer, and then you would immediately after the signature is received, receive your own PDF copy of your offer letter. This is also something that is needed at your school, right, for your OPT. So anything that would need to be added to that for the supporting evidence of where you've been offered a position, we will provide that to you at that point, right? So then once you have your official placement, you've agreed, they've agreed, everything is a go, then I will notify the deployment team and the immigration team so that both parties are aware of where you're going to be moving and also what facility you're going to be employed at or working at. So then they'll start coordinating the relocation process with you within a couple of days. So they'll start planning, when are you wanting to move? How are you wanting to move? And then they'll start gathering information about what type of housing you're looking for, what type of apartment, potentially car, bank account setup, cell phone, anything that you would need to make changes to help you acclimate to that community in which you're moving to.